So, welcome all to today's webinar, which is part of the Women's Cell. This is the series that we intend to have at least for next few months on every Saturday from 11 to 12. Today's session will be conducted by Ms. Madhuri, and we have also lined up a session by a senior scientist from NIST on next Saturday, September 13th. So I also want to want you to mark it in your calendar. So before we get into today's session, I would like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the chamber under which this woman cell has been launched. So most of you are our members or are already familiar. And as you know, Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Business, we are basically working for MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises to achieve next level. As we all know, almost 11 crore or 110 million people are employed by MSMEs and is the largest employer, not just in India, but across the world. MSMEs also contribute more than 40% to the manufacturing output, to the exports that India does. And so it's very important that these MSMEs are nurtured and the challenges or the issues that they face are taken up. Like one simple example I can tell you is the GST issue that was happening. And not just our chamber, but other chambers have also worked very hard, and must have noticed that most of the food products are now under the 5% bracket. So that will be a big boost to the food industry and in general, the other industry. So we were founded in 2020 and official launch on 1st March 2021. So we have just completed 4 years, and we had our fifth foundation day on May, which was slightly delayed for reasons not in our control. These are some of the photos you can see where we have been very actively part of various initiatives. Why join us? I'll talk about it based on some of the things that we do. So we conduct study tours. Like one we conducted where we took our team to the ProPack at Thailand in Bangkok. We also represent MSMEs. We were also fortunate to meet the FSSAI CEO who has just taken over on 1st of September. And we had a good meeting with him. We discussed the issues that MSMEs are facing, and he has promised to come to Mumbai on October 6th. And we will we will be hosting him as part of as an event that the chamber will be conducting. We also have good licensing and networking with the different bureaucracies across various states as well as central government. So these are some of the things that we are trying to do. We are also forward linkage is another big challenge that most of these MSMEs face. So getting them market, helping them participate in different exhibitions, like we did it Anuga a couple of weeks back. We are also taking a delegation to Gulf Food in January of 2026. So please feel free to get in touch with me or Madhuri ma'am or Shivanshi or anybody from CSMB, and we can help you understand some of the initiatives or some of the things that will benefit you. We also have few other key initiatives. One of them is called Food Tech Pathshala, which is a e-learning. It's a complete LMS, learning management system platform, where you can go, you can choose the courses you want to do, and at your own pace, you can complete them. We also have a quarterly magazine called Purna Brahma
Okay.
Magazine.
Kushna.
Sorry, can I request people to be on mute? Okay. Which comes out quarterly. The most recent one was launched in August at Anuga. And our 16 magazines, 17 issues that have come out so far in just over 4 years, all of them are available and can be read or downloaded from the CSMB website. I'm not going to take too much time because we are all eagerly waiting for our speaker. But these are some of the photos, some of the launches. Here you can see Vice Chancellor of Mumbai University, Dr. Ravindra Kulkarni being presented. Then you on the right bottom, you can see Professor J.B. Joshi, Chancellor of ICT, launching our one of our Purna Brahmas. These are some of the training sessions that we have conducted at right from MIT College in Pune to Modern College in Vashi to SNDT and so on and so forth. So like I said, ease of doing business, training, mentorship, helping get the forward linkage or growth in sales. These are some of the things that are we have been doing. Our fourth foundation day and also fifth foundation day saw a lot of dignitaries. Right from here in the left side, you can see Girish Pai from Naturals Ice Cream, to the uh, to Prabhu Desai, on from Pitambari, to Mr. Atul Chaturvedi from Adani Wilmar. A lot of celebrities were part of, and a lot of dignitaries were part of our fourth foundation. Fifth foundation day, we were fortunate to have two ministers of Maharashtra state grace our foundation day, and probably most of you were there and must have enjoyed and also made a lot of contacts. This was the delegation we took to Propac Bangkok, thanks to Informa Markets, where they wanted buyers and visitors from India, so they reached out to us, and we have been receiving a lot more inquiries and queries from different exhibition organizers, where they want people from our chamber to visit different exhibitions. We have been doing a lot of meetups, a lot of MOUs, and so on and so forth. These are such some of the numbers where how much impact we have done with regards to empowering entrepreneurs, supporting women entrepreneurs, startups, self-help groups, farmer producer organizations, and so on and so forth. So we are based out of Mumbai. Our office is in BKC in Keshava Building 210, and these are some of the website, and we are very much active on all different various social media platforms. And feel free to get in touch with us and come share with us that if any challenges you're facing or anything in specific you want us to do, we are more than happy to do that for you. Okay. So without further delay, I would like to take this opportunity to invite and first introduce our esteemed speaker for today, who has extensive experience over various things, right from tax consultancy to international marketing to ESG to CSR. I mean, if I read her resume, it will probably take 5 more minutes. But she has worked with various clients, be the Tatas, the Rallies, the BPCS, the Mahindras of the world, and so on and so forth. So we want to learn from all the experience that she has garnered over last 40 50 years, and how the SMEs can benefit by implementing some of these techniques in their own businesses and grow from there. So Madhuri ma'am, over to you. Sorry, you're on mute. uh,
Yeah. So, Nilesh, once again, request you to call me, address me as Madhuri, as and when you feel comfortable. Right. First of all, thank you very much, CSMB and Nilesh, for this opportunity. And it's a great kind of first step from my side. And all what I can share and I will be able to contribute, it will be my privilege for sure. Uh, Today is a very auspicious day, Ganpati Visarjan Day, and I cannot uh, explain the day we are auspicious day. We are starting something which will take us in a very very long way and reach out to as many women and other entrepreneurs, because I don't look at it only as a women entrepreneur. So I have prepared a very short PowerPoint presentation, and I've requested Nilesh if somebody can upload it. The topic, which is human capital, managing human capital to achieve exponential growth. I'm sure this is of interest of everybody, because generally we are kind of unaware of how to make use of our human resource team using AI, machinery, plant and machinery, and everything is a lot more easier compared to if you have a right technical team. But to get the best out of our team collectively is a bit of a challenge, and that's how I think we feel to address it in a very different manner. Nilesh, can we have the PowerPoint? Nilesh, are you there? Okay, thank you. Uh, I'm fond of a lot of pictures, and one may wonder why I have selected this particular picture. And you know where I got this picture? Some of the oldest companies in the world. So there is a short article on it, and this was a picture, and I thought that this is a very amazing thing. And if we get time, I'll come to this at the end of why I selected this picture. Uh, I don't know. Yeah. This- Okay.
Sorry, you want me to go to the next slides or?
Yeah, I don't know technically. Okay. So our small SME is biggest contributor to the economy of our country, and uh, with their total association with the larger companies, we would be very close to world's fourth largest economy, and maybe as early as possible. Uh, so let's work all together towards it. It can make or break the organization. And the esteemed participants who are here, I don't think I need to elaborate on this. We know the companies we have for 100. The longest running company is for 368 years. I've not given all those details because it would be too long and away from our topic. But for sure, this must not have happened without the contribution of the team. So I think along with the all other paraphernalias, that would be the guiding principle that human team will situation for any organization. There are lots of misconceptions when it comes to SMEs, and earlier on also I've extensively worked with SMEs and I've written a couple of articles. The SMEs even today have some kind of a feeling that not all of them now, because they have grown really, really big and they have ascertained their position even in a global market and presence. But overall, if you look at it, that SME have got some kind of a complex where they say, "Well, नहीं ये हमारे लिए नहीं है. This is for the bigger companies or something." In spite of the fact that they are part of a much larger global MNCs and TMCs, and I realized this when I was doing social compliances with a lot of big corporates. And when one on one they said nahi, and then it took a little time for them with the help of the management of the customers like Tatas and Mahindras and all that. They realized that we can also achieve a great success. Two basic, there are many, but I would here pinpointing two basic founding stones. One is the leadership development. Unfortunately, we pay very little attention to that. And coming from Leadership Management International, where we work on that in an extensive manner, I really, really stress on that the organization management people should look into that. And the second one, which has come out very strongly in last 15 to 20 years, starting from sweatshops, Gap had to close down its business in India for a while. This was sometime in 2000. Sustainability, ESG, SDGs, and there are many other interventions one can do. All irrespective of the size, the organization should look at it because there are a lot of support system which comes from this. Uh, a question: how I and my team look out at work. Uh, we all come with our baggages, And as a leader of an organization, I think it's a bounden duty or onus on the leader to realize that if I have my baggages, everybody else will have, and we'll have to collectively look at it how we remove them. So maybe at the end, if all of you can get little bit of it, you may think about it, and we'll come to this at the end. Hmm. Definition, I just included it for the sake of that if somebody is checking it out for the first time, and I don't need to elaborate with the present team members here. And the examples I have given is the courier services. Nobody could believe a few years back that this we only had angadiyas, because I come from Gujarat and we only had angadiyas. I don't know where is there anything in other places, but the courier service started way back at that time, and online payments nobody thought. Even I was reluctant for GPay, and over a period of time I said, definitely, this growth speaks about a collective aspirations and how we can take it forward. So there's a comparison between the longest running companies in the world and the one which are spreading much faster and retaining the kind of essence. One example is also of our Dabbas in Mumbai, which was also a case study for even biggest universities in the world. Uh, Next. Uh, it's the most valuable asset which generally doesn't get the predominance which it should. And they can become a key differentiated if in enough inputs are given. And here I'll quickly share an experience which I had when I was doing ISO 9000 certification with one of the companies way back in 2000 or something. And 4 months down the line, we couldn't come up. And this is a very, very live and correct example to share with. So my colleague who generally follows up on a day-to-day level, he said, Milin, he said, ma'am, nahi ho sakta. And the boss also said, जाने दो ना, नहीं नहीं था से माधुरी बहन, Manish Desai. ऐसे नहीं होता. And what I did was went and sat with, they were in the labeling businesses much earlier, like 2000 or something like that. I don't remember the new things where you have those, sticker kind of things on a pencil and all that. And he said, so there are huge challenges about rejection and downtime and all that. So I said, no, it cannot be like that. So I went and sat with all the workers ground. I sat with them on the ground. I had a cup of 2, 3 those teas and all that. And I said, look, we are not going to do it, and this will be a failure. Do you want to do it? Mark my words. I asked those, workers to whom we don't give any significance or importance, and I asked them, do you want to do it? So everybody said, yes, we want to do it because it was a big thing. They had already announced that our company will be ISO 9000 certified. And I said, then how do we do it? You will not believe, and not he had not gone probably to the school also. Some Yadav, a very young chap, he said, "Ma'am, give me 2 weeks," and I still remember his audacity. He said, "Give me 2 weeks." In his own in Hindi bhasha, which I couldn't understand in the beginning, he's saying, "मेरे को 2 week आप दे दो, and मैं आपको बना के देता हूँ." मैंने बोला, "अच्छा, why not?" Believe me or not, and he did it. And the reason was that they kept on making new templates for the printing screens. So he said, "Saab ko bhi bolo 2 week kuch kaam nahi hoga," and he sorted it out. And from something like 80,000 extra ones they removed, and eventually we got the ISO 9000. Why I shared this example is that each and every member of the organization contribute towards becoming a human capital and can take it forward. The rest we can uh, it's there, one can read it, and uh, everything tangible and intangible results through co-creation. That's the example I gave you. It's a co-creation, and that is human capital. Slightly repetition, because the new thoughts and new concepts are not easily, understood or accepted. Uh, Rest all is visible, one can see it. But when I was checking it out to find out, and I realized that the most critical times show how strong our human resources converted into human capital are. And the parameter can be, uh, one was, of course, COVID, Corona, which actually showed us where we stand. And believe me or not, amazing, amazing things were done by the team. And I'm sure this was done because it was not a capsule or instant kind of a, injection or something. It must have been corroborated over a period of time, because the team must be having faith in their management. And I've given few names of the companies which have done tremendous, humongous job. We can move on to the next slide, Nilesh, please. Uh, the names, I've shared some of the names in one of the things, and the work which was done by the team was amazing. Uh, Unfortunately or fortunately, human capital is not being reflected in our balance sheets or in our, of course, we cover it in our sustainability and other reports, but not the way it could. And if we can do it, chartered accountants and company secretaries really work on it in converting the value to it. Probably it will be a boost to the team. And non-physical asset as on today, though there were some examples, and one or two funding agencies had also included valuation of sweat kind of thing and everything, and included that as for funding them. So over a period of time we need to look at it, and uh, it can come out as a very, very important asset. Employers can improve human capital by investing in employee training and development, education, and benefits. Somehow or the other, unfortunately, this is the last thing uh, in on in the list. Whatever that bucket list or whatever it is, training की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, उनको सब आता है होगा. We have a lot of other expenditures and all that, but I think it's a high time we do it if we want to move faster and we want to stay in the market for a longer time with the very fluid situations that we see here now and then again. Uh, this is a small background. I said that it's not right to talk about it unless we see the history. And Adam Smith was the first one uh, who started with the entire kind of a it started with wealth of nations, and then it also became two enterprises. So Adam Smith was in 18th century, so even then we were thinking about it. And it's sad that human capital has not got the space and position which it should have in 3 centuries that we have. But the credit goes to the Nobel Prize winners Gary Becker and Theodore Sludge for popularized term as human capital. And the next slide it gives a lot more information on it. Uh, Nilesh, next time I will do it myself, please. So this time you. um, I found it very, very strange when when I read this, that Gary Becker and primarily develop, and this was what we looked at in 1950s and 60s. Of course, these were the time we were facing world wars, and we knew industry was in a very bad shape, and challenges we faced all along. Look at the address what he's giving is employees and capital equipment are both factors of production. Human beings cannot be factor. Human beings are human beings. A plant and machinery will remain plant and machinery. You will have to keep on, servicing it, making it, changing it, and all that. That's what human being is. Human beings can do wonders, and therefore, let's see. 65 years later, today, if we look at it, we can rephrase it. Capital equipment is sacrosanct. You cannot have a production facility without that. Employees whom we today address as a team is of a paramount significance and irreplaceable. We know that if the team has not been groomed properly, if one person moves out of the team, there is a temporary kind of a chaos unless it's been managed properly over a period of time, and that's where the leadership development and skills come up. Equipments do not run on their own. Team alone can make or break the organization, and we have seen this during the times of lots of thank god we are out of it now, but we have seen it during the times of strikes. So that's the time when we realize that machine on itself cannot grow in spite of AI or what you call T things of the latest thing which they can operate on their own. Uh, so that's where we need to pay attention. One person who made this realization, Maslow's pyramid, and we all know about it. I'm not going to go much in deeper. That when my basic needs are taken care of, I look at it self-actualization, giving back to society, and all that. These were very, very typical, topics during 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s when we started doing ISO 9000 and leadership development programs. We have moved far, far away. And next slide, I will show it how we have moved from there. With the younger generation coming in, and somehow after COVID, things have changed, and today self-actualization starts the day one. I mean, I've seen some of the younger people kind of asking for that. When I came for an interview, I was not given a proper place to sit. I mean, all of them were sitting in a very cozy, AC kind of place. And he said, no, no, but I was not given it properly. So self-actualization is an ongoing thing from day one to day. And this probably, we can see it even if you look at the domestic help that we get today. Maybe it's your lady who helps you in cooking and cutting your vegetables, or maybe the driver. I've not included all that, but when I talk of team, I talk of the entire team, which enables you to reach in time to the office, or when women or men even have to cook and take the tiffin. So it is kind of a umbrella kind of a situation where we need to look at our team and conversion from entire communication and relationship into turning it into capital. Uh, this is slide I have already covered a lot of things, and we can move on to the next one. SMEs, we all know, have got lot of, and that's what I mean by baggages, and we need to know. But the biggest challenge is finance and uh, cash flow arrangements. And I remember, because I've run industries, and the day you give on 7th, you give the salary, and lunchtime you are discussing next month ka paisa kahan se aayega, because funding is still on a very, very shoestring budget. And I've been talking to a couple of bankers, and I asked him a question in one of the events, why don't we think of, when you give investment term loan, and of course the terminology has changed today, but when you consider giving funding, and I sincerely request all the funding agencies, if ever they listen to this talk, that they should consider that if SMEs want to return and come up very fast, their team needs to be strong enough, and for that we need the inputs on their skill development and removing their internal challenges. Uh, the leaders face all these challenges. across, I think across all SMEs, it's more or less same. And I've been talking whenever I've traveled abroad, and believe me or not, the small shoestring shops also face a lot of things. And today we are saying it, what is happening all over the world because of the economic turmoil and things we have. So we can move on to the next one. There are a lot of positive aspects of SMEs, and I feel, there's so much under the pressure of ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai, we can't do this, we can't do that. And probably that is the reason why SMEs have become the kind of backbone of our industry. Maybe starting from defense. I was talking to somebody, my very, very old and dear friend who is in his ex major, and he's helping a lot of defense companies and something. And I mean, we launched something like 70 spacecrafts from our space place in I think Telangana or somewhere, some 70 plus one on one of on one day. And I checked out that the major part has come from the SME. So they have enough positive areas. The bigger corporates in B2B business should extend a helping hand to the suppliers, SMEs particularly, and particularly here it comes into adopting to international standards, expenditure on skill development, how they can work with the senior team and younger team together, because that's where when the foundation took place, they were all senior people, and now you need younger generation, and how we smoothly pass the baton to the younger generation, use the wisdom of senior people and use the talent and energy of the younger ones. And that's the great balancing unit possibility for any organization for that reason. These are all common challenges for large companies, day-to-day challenges. And right now we are going through a very big turmoil of one point where we do is that we pay attention to the nitty-gritties on day-to-day level, because there is very less time to think about, the spare time or something uh, at our hand. I asked one of the companies where I asked them a question. I said, "What's the culture of your organization?" And the question was, "What do you mean by culture?" And so we don't recognize what strengths we have, and they need to come out very openly. And for that, we need a clarity how to bring it on a table. So I was sitting and talking, and one person came very late, and he said, "Saab, मैं late हो गया," and all that. And the person, the boss said, "Doesn't it's okay because of the challenge, but don't do it a practice." Uh, this is a culture, and we need to develop. And as I said earlier, that during the COVID or difficult times, that is where the companies can survive, no matter what the size is. We need to think of building culture of the organization, which over a period of time will get converted into brands. Next one, please. Accountable, focused on quality ventures, ability to create value and achieve attractive risk adjusted returns. Potential for growth, innovation, and overall success. Founding teams, education, professional experience, skills, and management practices. mm, One cannot avoid them today, come what may. Again, harping on the same line, you start it when you're a team of 5 people. You start it when you are a team of 10 people, because you don't know when you will reach to the team of 100, and it will be difficult to bring in at that time. Next one, please. Then I checked out. I said, "How do investors look at it?" And I'm sure Nilesh will be able to kind of say look at this very critically, because he's in a big way in all these things, acquisition, mergers, and everything. So I checked on this and I spoke to a couple of them, and they told they shared with me that they look it in these areas uh, before they can even think of funding any organization, because they want to see that uh, at the end of 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that their investment is kind of secured, and the management, the organization is growing in skill, experience, adapt to evolving market, and all these challenges or areas, positive and challenging ones, are what even the investor will first look at it. Next. COVID changed a lot of things, the way we work, and I don't need to kind of elaborate on this. The companies which I was talking about at the time of COVID are Info Edge, which is of Naukri, HCL, TCS. These are all names which we know, and we don't have to anyway talk too much about it. Taj Mahal, we know that how many team members gave their life to save the customers, and that's where it came, maybe 150 years ago when they started. What we need to see is how S&P 500 saw that in 1975, intangible assets accounted only for 17%, which has now reached 90% by 2020. And that's what talks about how we need to have inputs in that. Next one, please. Mm, I think we can skip through these couple of slides, because I've generally covered all these points. Yes, this is where one standard 30,414, which covers all areas of how to kind of map human capital. And they have given all the 11 areas, and probably this can be used. You need not go for certification or anything, but even the smallest organization can look into it and pick up one by one how on what they can work. So they have given 11 areas of how one can work on a human capital, how to work on find out human capital, and all those are given over there. We did not go into detail. The only one I want to talk about is DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is the biggest challenge for the global organizations, where for them also, and most of the global organizations have a supply chain. So even if the management manages to do it at their level, supply chain, because today the certification bodies would go to the at least up to the third level of supply chain. And that's why it is essential that the bigger companies do the hand holding of SMEs from day one. We can move on to the next one, please. Uh, Again, I've covered it and repeated it many times over like 30 minutes that I've been talking. Uh, we can move on. Concluding notes. Uh, Human capital is pivotal for ages. Even Chanakya, I checked out. There are reference here of human capital. It's here to stay. Will become more inclusive and will contribute great value. Fluid present national and global situation. Team leaders will have to look forward. Uh, Globalization, interdependence, and reliance, nothing needs to be said at this moment. International labor organization give lot of support, even if you don't go for certification, and along with setting foundation for production facilities, setting the best utilities, selecting latest plant and machinery, set the foundation for robust human capital on day one. Yeah, next. I think that's the end. Production and other facilities are to be maintained. Human capital is to be nurtured as an ongoing process. with foundation and grounding much deeper and stronger. I think this last one or two slides now. Leadership development focus is a must. We do a lot of these programs, and we have some companies which have been there for 150 plus years, and Leadership Management International, and also the Sustainability, Environment, Social Governance, etc., are a very important kind of tools uh, for human capital development. I think it's the last slide. Yes. Managing human capital will result in exponential growth. The barometer is not necessarily always the stock position, and many a times we have come across this. And now I come to recap. Every team is human capital when the management is evolved and goal oriented. Set goals for engagement with the team, skill development, enabling potential to performance for transformation from human resources to human capital. Evolved team will enable compliances, mandatory or voluntary. Adopt structured, guided interventions. Size of the organization is immaterial. Co-creation is must for growth and eventually exponential growth. Uh, do we want to have question answers, or I can cover this as a small story? I think we'll better take question answers if
Yeah, yeah,
anyone has.
we'll take it. Yeah. So there are a few questions. If you can you hear
Okay,
that?
are there any tools for managing human capital? Uh, as far as I feel, one does not manage human capital. We manage things which are not communicative. I would rather put it that how do we groom human capital? And there are, I would call them tools, but what comes to my mind are two things. One is, of course, if you follow the processes. For example, all the organizations have uh, definite processes, what we do in certain circumstances. So one is processes, and therefore all the international standards help you doing that. And today we have a much larger bandwidth of processes given by the standards, which every organization can follow it with a given time frame. That's number one. Number two, as a facilitator for leadership development and as a coach, what comes to my mind is the best thing is communication, skill for communication. And I remember I was talking about the story baggage. So the human resources team, or even the bosses, like if it is in production or something, they need to know how to ask questions, communicate, and give the needed support to the team. That what comes to my mind. But as a tool, no, I have not come across. These are the things which we can use. So that's one answer. I hope it's clear to an extent. Arpita has asked, most of the time for any organization, the change is very difficult. Would it possible for you to share some thoughts how to bring it? Okay. So, Arpita, charity begins from home, and I can share here the very 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 old story which has got many different versions. That one lady goes with a 5-year-old to either to Sai Baba or somebody or the other, and says ये बच्चा बहुत शक्कर खाता है, and he tells कि come after 15 days. And she's wondering, I said, it's a big shot, and everybody praised him so much, and now he's telling me to come after 15 days. Doesn't he have an answer, kind of, and all those things? He was a true, genuine person. So he says 15 days. So she, but, as a kind of a very committed person, she goes after 15 days with a child, and then he says, Beta, sweet khana buri baat hai. And then that lady was somebody like me, the hit one. So she asked, but why you took 15 days? He said, I used to eat a lot of sweets those days. So charity or whatever work you do is begins at home. If I don't want my team to tell a lie, and believe me or not, I ran all the industries and I made one thing very clear that we will not tell lie. And I was successful 95% because I did not lie. And I think it's so easy otherwise, then it falls. It becomes without teaching, telling, preaching, rebuking, or anything, it becomes a way of life. That's what I feel. How do we see growth of human versus, I think this is AL, Shweta, or AI? I don't know, since most of us are in front of machine most of the time. My answer genuinely would be, as much as possible, please take away time and don't be in machines in all the time. It won't take very long time to for us to become machines. So please try and segregate time for you. Machines are to be used for benefit and learning more. And we need to have our time. Um, my another answer would be that if you're talking about human capital, be with human beings. Let's share, let's know. Let's learn by others' experience. We need not know and learn everything on our own. That's what comes to my mind. Uh, I think, uh, yeah, I think those were the questions, and if there is anything else. And I think we are almost uh, 12. Perfect. So I'll share the story some other time.
Okay.
Unless if some you want to hear, you can raise the hand. It's a very short story, and we can do it how we work and why we work. So, Nilesh, can I share it quickly?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Okay. So, there is one guy, it was an after, so again, a very old story. Many of you must have heard it also. So, it's a very, sunny day, very hot, and this person is walking and trying to find out, he's lost his way and he's walking, and he sees some construction going on. Uh, so, he stops and he sees some people cutting uh, the stones. And now, please, this story is before the machining came in, so bear with me. The message is good, leave aside the situation. So he stops by and he asks one person, and that's what I meant by baggages. And as a leader, one must have much bigger heart to understand that this guy or this woman could have something, and let me give this some time. So he asks, I want to go in such and such place. How can I do? So he doesn't even lift his head and say, um, in a very grumpy manner, he says, get lost. I don't know. Why are you asking me? Kind of. So he moves on. He says, okay. So he then goes to the second person close by and he asks him, can I have, can you please tell me kind of this thing? So he also says, without getting up, because they're all sitting. So without getting up, he says, can't you see I'm cutting the stones? And you want to know the road, but I have no idea. And he starts working. Like that, he goes to two, three other people, and then finally he still says that he has to find out the way. What can he do? So finally, he says, scary, a little bit, scared to ask, and he's saying, "Please, if you don't mind, can you tell me where to go?" So this guy puts his tools on the floor. He gets up, cleans, removes the dirt, and he says, "Please go from here, here, here." And then he asks him, "You seem to be thirsty. Would you like to have some water?" And he says, "No, I have water," and all those things. So now this person who is finding the road, he asks him the questions that it's so hot and everything. What are you doing here in such a heat? Why don't you have some cover on your head? So this guy has a very soft smile on his face. Even on those conditions, he has a soft smile and he says, "Sir, I am constructing a temple." So see the answers of six people. How do I look at my work? And that's where you get the best results, peace of mind, and the positive energy. So that's where I how look at my work. And if this message goes to everybody, obviously it creates something what we call human capital.
Okay, great. Can you hear us
I
now?
think it's almost 12:03, Nilesh.
Yeah, can you hear us? Or you can't hear us? Okay.
I'm learning to know how it is, what happens to people who can't hear.
Yeah. Okay. So I take this opportunity to thank Madhuri ma'am and everybody who has attended. And can I request everybody to switch on the camera so that we can take a quick photo if possible? Okay, I've taken the photo. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again on next Saturday at 11. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.